Hey there everyone. So in this video what we'll be learning is we'll be building an e-commerce application with a full stack cart application which we will be getting through this. Okay, so we'll be building it from scratch using lamp stack. Okay, so basically we will first design the UI, and after that what we'll be having is we'll be getting the entire cart application running, where you can add something to the cart, you can update the number of quantities, you can remove from the cart, everything. So first of all what we are doing is we are creating a database. So that's the first step which we will be requiring. So I have opened up VS Code. So now the next thing what we'll be doing is we'll get the basic template from Bootstrap. Okay, so it's a choice, you can use Bootstrap or you can use Materialize, whatever you want to, but here I'm using Bootstrap. So basically this is the basic template which will give the URL CDN links of Bootstrap. That's all. So now I am changing the title to e-commerce application, and I will get the basic UI running. Okay, so that you get an idea. So basically what I will be doing is right now is we will be having the UI running with some products, a navigation bar. So basically that's the first step we will do. So this will be a long session. We tell you from beginning, you grab a coffee or something and sit down. It will take around 1 hour. It is a long video and we'll be getting through this, and you will get to understand each and everything and build a complete e-commerce website. Okay, so now what we are doing is we are getting the row and the columns. Okay, if you are not getting what this is actually Bootstrap grid. So if you go to Bootstrap and search, we have a separate dedicated video on Bootstrap, if you can go and check that. But here what we are doing is this is Bootstrap grid and we are getting the card element. Okay, card component. So basically we are designing a card which will display the product. Okay, first we are basically getting a template ready. After that the products will also automatically load up from the database. So first of all we are totally hard coding the product list. Okay, and so basically that's it. Now we are gathering some images basically, okay, of some products. So I'm getting some books. So this is actually designing the UI. Okay, so hold on, we will get to the core designing part and the development part as well. This is what we are doing is we are getting a hold of some products to list it down, and I am changing something to make it look and feel just the way I want to. Okay, so so these are all Bootstrap classes. Okay, cart, card body, cart footer, for the image card, image top. Okay, all these are Bootstrap classes. If you are not remembering what the classes might be, you can always search in the Bootstrap website and get a hold of the class list. Okay, that is there. So basically now what I am doing is this is the form. Okay, so why we will require a form over here? So basically why we will require is because we will have a button. When we click that, we want to have an product added to the cart. So basically that's the reason we are having a button over here, but we want to send some data also. When we click the add to cart, we want to send some data so that it's stored in the cart. Okay, so basically we want to send the product ID and the user ID. For now we will not be dealing with sessions. Okay, so what we will do is we will hard code the user ID with some email. Okay, temporarily, but in case we do that further in this then if we deal with session variables, in that case we will not, we will remove the hard coding thing. But for now, since what we are doing is we are totally focusing on our development of the cart of the application. Okay, so basically that's the reason why I will just be focusing on how we can design, develop and build a cart. Okay, so let's see how the website looks. Okay, so yeah, that's the product, but it's not looking good right now, but I make sure it will look really good. Okay, it will be a professional e-commerce website. We are adding some margins and paddings, etc., so that it looks a bit better. Okay, don't worry, I am recording this audio after the video, so basically the website is going to look amazing. Okay, so you will be seeing me fiddling around with this books names and whatever, just to means like get a good look of the website. But if you feel that this is means like this could be skipped, you can just skip to the next part as well. Okay, it is a long video, it's around 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes, a long video, so you can skip and go ahead also. But what we are doing, or if you want, you can just go slow, and in that way you will know everything. Okay, so even that you can do. So this is product 2 and product 3. So we are getting a nav bar, so we are getting the template from here, but we will not have this color. I will show you how you can change the color based on custom colors. Okay, so basically we will not have this bootstrap navbar style like light, primary, whatever is given, or inverse. We will not be having those by default. We will show I will be showing you how to get totally custom design navbar, that too within bootstrap, and that too very fast. So hold on. Okay, so I'm just giving some names to the drop down, like products, books, stationery items. So we go in TWBS color. This is a very good way of selecting the color for bootstrap. Okay, it's very simple. You click and you just select the color you want, and once you have done that, you can just grab the CSS, entire CSS of the navbar, and just have a file over there. It's very simple. So I'm just selecting the color we will be having in our website. So let's see if we can have a little greenish color. Yeah, so this will be perfect. So basically what I will be doing is I will be copying that color from there also, and we will not have this purple highlighting, so we'll remove that. And there you go, we have our nav bar. So now we will go down and we'll grab the CSS code. Okay, so just copy it and paste it in a navbar.css file. So you can name this anything, okay, but it should be there. Okay, once you paste it, you just provide the link in the index.html file. And there you go, we have our navbar. Okay, so why we are having a navbar, even that's with a purpose, because we will be having the cart over there. Okay, like every website does. Okay, e-commerce website, they usually have the navbar, and inside that we have the cart. So, and even the cart will be dynamic, it will populate the values based on the uh, items added in the carts. Okay, so nothing will be only front end, it's totally full-fledged application with a database and a back end. Okay, so it's very interesting. So I'm grabbing some more product images. Okay, but later what we'll do is we will just move this to the database, we won't be having it over here. Also, we would request you to drop some comments in the comment section about what kind of applications or application ideas which could be built over. Okay, so if you say that you require some kind of application, we will try to bring that up in the upcoming series. Okay, so that will be totally fun. Okay, so in case you want me to specifically do some other application, you can also comment that inside in the comment section, and I will try to make something out of that if possible. Okay, and we encourage you to also share these videos if you feel it benefit you, so that it reaches someone and it benefits someone as well. Okay, so in that way we can grow the community and help each other. So I am getting some more images, going through some more selective images. Okay, but if you feel that it's too slow for this image part, I am selecting these images and all, you can obviously drag a little bit, skip it if you want to. Okay, but this session actually covers everything from A to Z of how we build an cart, okay, how we get a shopping cart running. So that's it. So basically this is I'm going very slow, so basically all the image selection, everything is there. So basically I'm trying to get some images which I like and all those. We will also get the UI fixed, okay, just to make sure that it looks some divs are small, some divs are large, everything will be fixed. So just hold on. I was saying that if I could fix that using some images, but all the images had some different sizes. So later I thought to provide a fixed value for the height of the div, and we got that fixed as well, okay. So initially what I was trying to do is changing the images. I was trying to at least see if I could get most of them to the same size, but that's not the case. So basically what I did, later I fixed the issue. We had this equal sizes through the height in style, okay. So we coded that up. So basically I was just seeing that which image could bring that to the same size as the other divs, but nothing was actually working to get that fixed. So basically I coded that up and got it fixed. So uh, now we are getting the line icon. So why we are getting that icons? Because we will be requiring that for the cart image, okay. We will be needing the cart icon over there. So that's the reason we are grabbing the link, cdn link, without which we cannot use that icon back, okay. So basically this won't be a drop down. What we will be having is just the cart at the right side. So for that we will have that cart over there, and we will have a badge, okay. Badge is a small little place where you can display a number or something, some little information in Bootstrap, okay. So basically this will show how many items are there in the cart. So you see that it's there, but we want that in the right side. So one easy way is just write ml. So how I remember it is left actually is right here, okay. So basically ml, it will push that to the right side. That way I remember that. And we will have a specific font size and color. I will increase that to let's say 30 or something, okay, so that we have some font size and font color. font size, sorry, font color will be white only. So just a little bit styling, some CSS, that's all. So we'll make that to 30. And there you go. So it perfect. Okay, now we will also adjust the products size and all. Okay, we'll get that. So still I was searching for some images which could bring that down to the specific size, but nothing worked actually. So then it clicked to my head that, oh, this should actually change. We should provide some specific height to get that to a specific size. Okay, so basically that's what it is. So you see, we click the cart and nothing is working actually because we haven't added the database, we haven't written the backend. So we will be doing that right now. So we are having the products table. We will load everything up dynamically from the backend. Okay. So basically for that reason, I am now creating the table called products table, and it will only have the product information inside it. So this is product name, product ID, product description. So all the things we can add over here. What are the things? So one, if you want your application to be very fast, and so in that case, one suggestion would be do not use joins. Okay, because here I will be using joins because that's the way we should do. But if it's a very let's say it's a very application with a lot of users running in, okay, in that case it's better that we should not have joins, even though if we duplicate, we have duplicate values in the tables. I read that somewhere that that could joins could slow the application down. Okay, so that is one way, and the other way could be to use memcache and redis for session storing. So that's another way for, say, if we work with sessions for a large application. Okay, so now what we are doing is we are adding some values inside that products table. So we are adding something, but just to tell you that back then when I created, I just forgot to add the product image column. So you will find me again deleting that data and again structuring that schema. Okay, so basically I found out that, oh, the product image is not there. So you will see me that I will be deleting that record and adding the another column called product image. So we will be storing the image URL over here. So basically I am removing that single record which I created just now, since it doesn't have that product image. uh, so I just wrote the table name wrong, so it's product TV, and we'll be dealing that we'll be deleting that record. Okay, and now we'll be inserting the records again. So if you like our courses, you can go ahead and click the like button. Okay, that's really appreciated. Okay, that will help us grow also. So and bring you more videos. Back then, my battery actually ran out, so I had to connect the charger. So here we are again, and here is the URL of the product. And now what we'll be doing is we will query and get that dynamically populated within the page. Okay, so it's totally fun how we do it. So basically we will be going ahead and most probably removing this. Okay, and then what we'll do is we will write the PHP script over here. So we'll get the config.php file where we'll be having the connection details for the database. In our case, we'll be having it localhost, password is blank, and by default whatever we have to populate. Okay, but once you go to the server, you have to change this in order to deploy. Okay. So first of all, we'll be including that config.php file, and then we will be using that in our scripts. Okay. So if you are if you just to share with you something, I have seen industries using PHP, but the way they use is they either use it through frameworks like Laravel, Symfony. Okay, there are some real good products also which are built using PHP. Okay, so PHP has some really good products. Just to let you know, some of them are Sweet CRM. Okay, then Sugar CRM. There is Magento. Then so a couple of products are there all which uses PHP. So PHP is quite great actually. Okay, so if you are having a career in PHP, it would be suggested that you go and learn some framework also. Okay, that would help you get a job. Okay, so with a framework, you can reuse components. Okay, you can just there will be some migrations for database, etc. Components. So basically, reusability, object-oriented programming, all those features could be leveraged. So that could be one way. But now what we are doing is uh, we are actually writing a query to fetch the records from the products TB table. Okay, and then we are using the MySQLi query function, and we will be looping through that and populating it. So one thing to note is you will obviously see so many type of PHP code. You might be confused. Once I was too, but what it was, there are several ways of writing the same PHP thing. Okay, so there are PDOs. There is, you know, you can use this MySQL Connect. So there are, you can use object oriented PHP. There is multiple ways you can write. Okay, so there is no one's right way and or something, but one thing is, whatever gets you to launch your product first, that's the best way as for me. Okay, so if it's easy to learn, you get it right and you launch a product very fast, get an MVP running, that's very handy. You can later on adjust or something you can do, but now we are having let's get back to this e-commerce website. So basically what we are doing is we are just right now we are fetching all the records from the products table, and we are just we have cut our UI from the HTML and we have placed it inside this echo, so that it will loop and populate those products from the product table. Okay, so basically I am now just using those variables which are getting those values from the products table, and we are populating that dynamically inside that echo. Okay, so that it prints inside the DOM. Okay, and that too it will loop through, it will loop and it will print that, it will display that in the view. Okay, so basically this is if you see what we did now, we actually populated those things from the variables. Okay, so and as you can see, it's displaying those things over here. Okay, and it's from the database. So now let's go ahead, insert another value into the table and see whether it's really getting populated from the database. So we are getting another product. Okay, and we'll be populating that inside that database. So while we populate the data, just to give you some more information, there are some amazing companies which are running on PHP. Okay, like there is Slack which is built on PHP. I have seen WebEx, which is a conference application that too runs PHP, and then there is obviously Facebook, it uses PHP. There is Adobe's Magento, which is using PHP. So basically there are so many things which are using PHP, and the best thing about PHP is you can deploy very cheap. Okay, you don't need a dedicated hosting or something. You can just deploy it very cheap. So as you can see, it's fetching the data from the database. Okay, it's populating dynamically. So we have achieved our goal. I will be adding one more product just to get the cart the product list looking a little better. So there are so many products. There are Drupal which uses PHP. There is this WordPress. Entire WordPress uses PHP, and what PHP runs over Linux servers. Okay, so basically that makes it very cheap. You can deploy, host a website at a very cheap price, unlike Java or Node, for which you will require, or Python, for which you have to deploy using something very costly, or at least something very good, like there is Heroku, there is this Blue Digital Ocean, there is this Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services. So you will be requiring those, or at least you will be requiring a dedicated hosting. But for PHP, you can deploy it very easily, very cheap. Sometimes you can host and you don't need to pay a penny also. So even that option is available only in PHP. Okay, so it's very good way. So we have adjusted the height. Okay, so you see we have adjusted the height. We have got the height to a fixed size, and now we are adding the last product. Okay, in our table for now. So basically, so we are adding a Harry Potter book set. So you see we are adding that again inside the database. Okay. So hope you are enjoying these videos. If you are really enjoying uh, and getting something knowledgeable from this channel, we request you to subscribe to this channel, so that you get and click on that notification bell icon, so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you get to know and watch our video lectures. Okay, so basically now we are adding the price, then the image URL, and that's the last element we added. And let's reload, and there you go, everything is populated dynamically. It is looking professional and perfect. Okay, and it's fully responsive as well. Okay, so it will render just fine inside the mobile also. So I have also decided to add the product price, because without the price, how would it look actually? Because people decide what product to buy, and obviously want to know about the price. So thought of adding that also, but we could have also done far more things. Like we could have added a button to show the description of the product, which maybe in some later series I will be doing that as well. Okay, but for now we want to just show the price, and then we will go to the cart. We will be adding that to the cart, and we'll be displaying it inside the cart. Okay, everything will be done over here. And another great advantage of using PHP is you can easily earn in freelancing. The maximum demand for developer is through PHP. But yes, there is a lot of competition as well, because PHP is one of the most common language which is there. Okay, so basically it will face a lot of competition also. So in order to stand out, you can obviously go and learn something like React.js, Laravel, Symfony. So those things will make you stand out from the crowd, and yeah, you can obviously charge more. So that's one point. Okay. So now we are creating the cart TB. Okay, the cart table. So it will be the user ID which we will be wanting. Later on you will find that I have also added the quantity. For now I haven't added, so basically we will be removing that and we'll be adding the user ID over here. So basically you get an idea, you will just get to know. Just hold on and view this video, you'll get to know. So So you see, when I was developing, I figured it out that it will be user ID. Okay, but later on, I thought we have to give the quantity as well. So it's on the go. It was not planned actually. I just go with the flow. So basically, we make changes on the process of developing. Okay, it's not like we have already mapped something, or that could be a good approach as well. Okay, you get the UML registered, and you can just have the entire schema perfect. That's one way, but I prefer developing on the go. So we will be also passing the user ID. For now, the user ID is already hard coded in, so basically over here we are hard coding that. Okay, but later on this could be populated from the sessions. Okay, from the session variables. So if you are wondering how we can use session, I have a video on that. You can check that in the in my hospital management system series, there is this session thing over there. So now what I'm doing is, on click of that add to cart button, we want to insert those values inside the cart table. Okay, so that's the reason we are doing this. But you will notice one thing, we are not replicating those cart tables. That is because we will be using joins over here. Okay, so basically you will see I have provided product ID in both cart and product table. Okay, so basically that's the primary key which we will be using to join those two tables. So basically we will fetch the details from the products table with that product ID. So for now, let's focus, and this is what we are doing is we are inserting those data into the cart table. Okay, so we are fetching the product ID and the user ID, which we will be requiring. So insert into cart TV the values, and here we will be using those dynamic variables which we are receiving from when someone clicks the add to cart button. Okay, so basically I found the issue. The issue was actually the So the issue was actually I haven't provided an underscore in post. Okay, so one thing in PHP is you have to have the perfect code written. Okay, even without a underscore things could go wrong. So I have added that, and here you go. If we add now, and we have that. So basically I might have reloaded the page, that's why it's 2. We will try once again. Okay, so I'm deleting the emptying the cart, and now we'll check again. So basically we will add, reload, and there you go, we have it. So voila, you have your cart. Okay, so now there is more to it, it's not over. Okay, it's just we have added the value inside the cart. We are half done. Okay, now what we'll be doing is we will we will display the count of the cart. That's the second thing. We'll display the cart. That's the third thing. You can remove or add something inside the cart. That's the fourth thing. Okay, So what I am doing is I am populating that I am populating the number of uh, items that are there inside the cart for a particular user. So basically we are counting the number of users IDs which a user has, and based on that we are just I just realized that I forgot something over here which is important. Here we are actually calculating the entire users. Okay, so maybe in the upcoming video I will fix that. It will be select count user ID from user from cart TB where, and you have to put that where user ID equals this user, and you can get that user from the session variable. So for now it's just to show the thing, but the query will just to note, okay, the query will be a little bit modified. So maybe I will do that afterwards. Okay. So I just noticed it now that that select count user ID from CartDB where the user ID equals, and you can hard code for now, or you can get it from the session variable. So that where clause is missing, so that you get only those users fetched whose user ID is this. So this was something important. Okay, so I just pointed it out. Now you can get a note of that. Okay, you take a note of that, and you when you do, you just make that from cart TB where user ID equals, and get that from the session variable or hard code it. Okay, so I forgot to add that where clause, so basically now it will be showing, but it's not an issue because we are getting to know the functionality, and I believe it will not make much of a problem right now. So you see, if we add, that's getting added and it's dynamic. Okay, so it's fun. We are adding and it's increasing. Okay, so so we are adding a link basically, so when someone clicks they can view what's inside the cart. So that's the next part of this tutorial. Okay, so basically we are just working on the UI thing right now, adding the links, etc. But now we'll be creating the cart where you can check what are the items which are added to the cart, and you can display that, you can remove that, and all those functionalities. Okay. So we have just grabbed the template so that we don't write the navbar etc. again. So you see there is the navbar, but this is the card.php, and here we'll be listing that out. Okay. So again we will be including that config file. We'll be getting it from here. So basically now it's what we are doing is we will be getting a basic UI again, because unless we get an UI we cannot populate that with the database from the database. Okay, so I'm just getting the template, setting things up, removing the code which is already existing in index.php, keeping what is necessary. Okay. So this is just a template which I am creating right now. After that we'll be fetching and populating these things from the database. Okay, so we will have a query, we'll be having a join. Okay, a lot of things are there. Okay, so stay with me. So this is the structure we'll be requiring. Okay, so that's what I did just now, but now we'll be writing our script, we'll be getting those things from the database. It's easy right now, isn't it? There are some steps you will be familiar with. Write a query, get the result, loop, and display. So basically 4 steps. So now the challenging thing is writing the query. Okay, because the query has join, so you will see me having some trials, errors, getting the query ready. Okay, so these things are challenging. Okay, you get the query, you have to make it perfect. It will be having a join. So once we get it ready, uh, I'll then go forward. Okay, so this will take some time, but this is one of the challenging aspects. Okay, so basically you have to write the right query so that the join is perfect, you are fetching the data in a perfect manner. Okay, but it's interesting, right? It's really interesting when you work on these things. And one thing I found that once you learn PHP and develop a application or any language, once you get a hold of it, learning other things are much easier. Okay, learning other web application frameworks or things are easy. Means once you get to learn PHP, you get to understand what is JSP, what is ASP, everything. Okay, means like almost things are similar. Okay, there will be post requests, there is get requests. These things are very common. Okay, so there might be some things which are not, but it's just to say these are all tools, like you have a hammer and you pin a nail. Okay, so basically you can use a claw hammer, or so you can use some hammer or some branded hammer or something, or like that. It's just a tool, you can use any and you can get an application running. Okay, but there was some issues with PHP earlier when it had some security issues, etc., but those things are fixed. Okay, to a great extent. PHP 7, I think, is the recent one. These things are actually fixed, and PHP has turned into a fully language for the enterprise. Okay, so it is not like earlier. So you get the idea. But there are some languages which are specific to this. Okay, so like Python, etc., all those also, for machine learning, artificial, so those are specific to that. Okay, so now let's come back to this. So basically I have written the query, I have written this MySQL query where we are running that query, we are looping. It's basically the same thing, we are looping, we are fetching the array, we are getting all the data, and we will be displaying that result. Okay, so hope it's clear. Okay, in case you don't understand, you can pause and go through the video, also replay, go a little back and also do that. Now for the delete we'll be having a form. Okay, so basically again we'll be having a form. Basically when someone clicks on that form, you will see that that item is deleted. So for that we need to pass a product ID as hidden variable. Okay, so it won't be displayed, but we'll be passing that product ID as a hidden variable, and also the user ID. And we have the submit button. Okay, with a value of remove. So we found an error. Okay, so the error, whenever you get such an error, most of the times the error is with the query. Okay, so we found that the error was in the query. We again rechecked, again moved things here and there, and got things fixed. Okay, I was just checking. So these things actually writing the query. Okay, and then this, when you get this error, it remember that the mistake is inside the query you have written. Okay, so whenever you get this first parameter will be something inside this MySQL like fetch array, always remember something is wrong with the query, you have written a wrong query. Okay, so go ahead. So I just pause the video, rechecked what's the issue, and I will just you will see me moving things here and there and getting things fixed in the query. Okay, so giving some styles also. And there you go. So some things are wrong, that's with the grid. Okay, things are not arranged properly, and that's because of the bootstrap grid. So now it will be fixed. So first of all, I thought I will remove the quantity, but later on I added that also. So just you will go along and you will find out that I have added in the upcoming part that quantity thing. And there you go, you have that shopping cart. Okay, so I will align it a little more. Okay, using some give some border at the bottom so that it looks a little bit better. Okay, so basically just fiddling around with the UI to get things look a little bit better. Okay, after that we'll be having the functionality of removing. So that's one thing. So removing, updating, so all those things will be there. So in this part, actually what I am doing is I'm getting the query right. Okay, so basically uh, we are fixing some things. Okay, you will get to know. Okay, we are just working on the query so that the query works perfectly. So I have decided actually to add the product quantity. Okay, so for that we will be requiring the count. Okay, so now we have the quantity. Okay, but what we'll be doing also is we'll be having that quantity as editable, so that obviously you want to edit the number of uh, things you want. Okay, so for that reason I have placed in it this value inside a form, so that that's updatable. Okay, it's not that it's just fixed. So that's how a real cart works, right? So it's a professional shopping cart. Okay, you can totally remove, add an item, update the number of items you want, so everything. So let me know in the comments how you like this video, or if you don't like whatever. So I will love to hear from you. So provide a feedback, or hit the like button. In that way uh, we can bring more such videos. Yeah, so that's updatable, but we'll change that. We'll make it look a little bit professional. It will look like that. Okay, it will look good. So just working on the UI. Okay, so just to make sure things look good. So you see now it's editable. We will that update button, maybe we'll remove the border also. Okay, so that it looks a little more good. And there you go, it's looking great, right? You have that remove button, update feature, you can add to the cart. It's totally a crude application. You get to know everything. It's a full stack just in front of you. So it's not done totally. We'll be adding the functionalities. Okay, I said it's a long video, and we'll get it running. Okay, it's totally fun video. So there is the remove button. So if the button of remove cart is clicked, okay, then we will delete that item from the cart. So which item we are going to delete? We are going to delete that item which is having that particular user ID and that particular product ID. So there you go. You see we can remove the items from the cart. We are adding something and we will be removing them. So it's working. Now we'll work on that update part. So it's the same way we will be passing the values as hidden, and we'll be passing the quantity. For that we have the text field, and we have the update button. Whenever someone clicks on that update button, again that query will run and something will take place. So it's just a way of working with PHP. So now what's again important is the query. So we will be writing the update query this time. So update cart TV, set the value of quantity. So we will be adding that quantity field. Okay, so we'll empty the cart table and we'll have a fresh set of values. So what we'll be doing is we'll be providing an initial value of quantity as 1. Okay, so whenever someone clicks on an item, we will be on a product. Okay, so even though they will be clicking on that, they will have quantity added as 1, and then they can come here, update that. Okay, We can add more logics to it, okay, but keeping things simple, initially one is added, and then they can come here, add more, okay, in that way. So basically we are updating that, okay. So basically I'm going through a little bit of uh, trial and error because there was some problem with the query earlier, okay. The logic has been a little bit changed since we have added the column in the cart table as quantity, okay. So for that we rewrote this, and you get an idea of what it is actually. First, the if that button is clicked, we are fetching those things from the form, we are running the query, and there you go. So basically we will update that, and you get errors, okay. That's a part of development process, okay. It's not like at the first time you will get some everything right, but you make errors, you're learning the process, so that's a cycle you go through. So basically, so this is what was the error about. We have given name, we haven't given the name, we have given the value right, so that was the error. We got it fixed, and it will be running very perfectly, okay. So since we have that quantity column now, we will not be requiring the earlier logic where we have used that count function of SQL, okay. We will not require that actually, because we have used that quantity column name, okay. So we'll directly leverage that, okay. And there you go, you have that 5. So this is done. Now we will just give you a demonstration of the entire thing and how that is working, okay. So if you have come this far, then you have got an idea of how you can build a shopping cart of your own, Okay, so this is a really advanced tutorial uh, to build a e-commerce website. So hope you enjoyed learning with us. You update, it's updated, you remove, add, and all the functionalities are there. Okay, so it's a full-fledged cart, shopping cart from for an e-commerce website. So that's all. Thank you everyone.